As I've been traveling the country this year, we always designate one part of the Heaven Tour weekend to a Q&A time, and I'll have questions handed to me on various bits of paper. I wanted to share this one with you. This was given to me on my most recent trip up into Illinois. And someone had asked, John 14 says, "In my house are many mansions. Could you please explain what that means in the original language?" Well, let's be specific on this. This is from the King James Version, which you're quoting, and it really says, "In my Father's house there are many mansions." So let's go ahead and talk about that. What does it mean, and what does it say, and especially in the context of that day? If we're talking about heaven, will it help us to understand at the time that this was written? And yes, in all cases, we want to talk about this in detail. The first thing is, when you go into the Koine Greek, that's what the New Testament is written in, this would say, "In my Father's," the Greek word oikia. And the word oikia in the definition means where the family gathers. So you can safely say, "In my Father's home," heaven being the Father's home, there are many monē. That's the word that you would see in the King James Version for mansions. It's actually monē. And monē's definition in the Greek is that it is simply a dwelling place. We don't get any more specific than that. Some people will ask me, does this mean an apartment complex? Does this mean a suite? We just don't know. It's just what it says, a dwelling place. However, if we go in history, back to the time that this was written, you'll find something quite fascinating. At the time Jesus was walking the earth, a patriarch might have his son engaged, and the engagement in the Jewish culture was 1 calendar year. During that time, the son comes over, and the father's home, he will build an addition onto the father's home. It will literally be attached to that dwelling. He'll spend the entire year preparing this for the bride. And at the end of this time, on the grand wedding day, he will take the bride, and they will come over, and they are technically living in the father's home, but they have their own dwelling place. You get that? It's very, very powerful here. Jesus says, in this time before I come back, consider it like the engagement time, I'm going to prepare this dwelling place for you. Then I'll come back and get you, he says to the believers, that you may come and be with me, that where I am, you may be also. And this is a wonderful insight into this promise of the believers going to heaven. John chapter 14. Read the first 6 verses. Very, very powerful.